In this lesson, we're going to discuss how to write an equation of a line in point-slope form, using point-slope form to write the equation of a line. So with your notes out, this is the formula for point-slope form. The reason it is called point-slope form is because in order to use this, you need to have a point, which in this problem is where x1 and y1 come into play. And you also need to have the slope. And the slope equals the m. So you're going to plug in three numbers to this. You're going to plug in a number for y1, you're going to plug in a number for m, the slope, and you're going to plug in a number for x1, which is the other point. The other y and the x stay in play because when you simplify, your whole goal is to have the equation of a line that's written like this: y equals 2x minus 4. Where it's in that slope-intercept form where you get it down to you need a y and you need an x. So there aren't two different y's and x's involved in this problem. The y1 and x1 represent a point from the problem. The m represents a slope. Those are the numbers you plug in, and you simplify from there. So for example, let's take a look at this problem. It says find the equation of a line with m equal to 2. Remember, m is another word for slope. So slope is 2, and it passes through the point -1, 3. And remember, the x value always comes first, the y value comes second. So we need two things to plug in. We need the slope. Well, the slope is 2. I'm going to plug that right there for m. And the other thing I need to plug into this problem is the point. Well, the point from this problem is -1, 3. So now I'm going to use my formula here. I'm plugging in -1 for the x. That's going to go right here. And 3 for the y. That will go right there. So to write this out, I'm going to write y minus, the y value is 3. So that's where the 3 is going to get plugged in. It gets plugged in for the y1. Equals the m. M is 2. My slope is 2. So I'm going to plug a 2 in for the m. And we're going to have x minus, and now I need to plug in -1 for the x point. So I put -1 and finish it off. So from here we just need to simplify. Well, to simplify means inside parentheses I have minus and negative. I'm going to change that to a plus. So it's x plus 1. The first thing I need to do, so step 1 is to distribute. So in order to simplify, I have to distribute. I have to distribute the 2 to the x and the 1. So when I rewrite this, I have y minus 3 equals 2x plus 2. Now to get y by itself, I need to, step 2, you're going to add. Sometimes you might have to subtract the number from the left. So in this case, I have minus 3. Well, I need to add 3 to both sides. And the only number I can add it to is this 2 out here. This 2 has an x next to it, so I can't combine it there. And I get the equation y equals 2x plus 5. And there is my final answer. Okay, I'm going to show you one more example, and this one's a little more complicated. It says to find the equation of a line through 1, 4, and 4, 10. So again, the two things we need, so remember it's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We need the slope, and we need a point. Well, we can choose either one of these points. The one thing we don't have right now is the slope. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my slope formula out. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I got to find the slope. So y2 minus y1, I'm going to do 10. I'm going to start here. I'm going to do 10 minus 4 divided by 4 minus 1. So for a slope, I get 6 over 3, which is 2. So my slope is 2. And the point that I'm going to use, it doesn't matter. Choose your favorite point. For me, I'm going to choose 1, 4. Okay, I like smaller numbers to deal with my calculating. So now I'm going to plug in 2 for the m. And I'm going to plug in 1 for the x and 4 for the y. So hopefully you don't need this anymore. I'm going to erase my work on finding the slope. And rewind the video if you need to. So we have y minus the y point of 4 equals the slope. Goes in for m, 2. I get x minus the x point of 1. Now, step 1, I need to distribute. So I distribute the 2 to both terms. I get y minus 4 on the left, 2x minus 2 on the right. To get rid of that negative 4, I need to add 4 to both sides. So I get y equals 2x plus 2. Okay, last one, if you need it. Again, we need to find the slope, and we need a point. So we don't have the slope yet. We have 2 points. We know how to find the slope, though. We take the y's. So I'm going to take negative 5 minus 1 over negative 3 minus 9. And I get negative 6 on top, negative 12 on the bottom. And that reduces to 1/2. Uh-oh, it's a fraction. That's okay. We are allowed to have fractions as our slope. So my slope is 1/2, and the point that I'm going to use is negative 3, negative 5. So I go to my formula. Hopefully you have it written down by now. I do y. It says minus a negative 5. I know that minus and negative is going to turn it to positive 5, so I can change that right away. Equals the m, which is 1/2 the slope. And then comes x minus a negative 3. Well, I know that's just going to turn into a plus 3, so I can change that right away. Now we have y plus 5 equals, I have to distribute. So 1/2 times x is just 1/2 x. 1/2 of 3 would be 1.5. And now in this case, I'm going to have to subtract 5 on both sides. Get it to cancel here. My equation is y equals 1/2 x. 1.5 minus 5 would be a negative 3.5. There's the equation of my line.